All right, so I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to go ahead and save it, and this is going to be Chad's glue holder that I'm basically going to copy his, and then I'll use this to machine. I'm putting it in a location, classroom furniture. It's in a subset for shop holders. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to sketch, but rather I am going to come up to the top level. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to hit new component. That new component is going to be base. And I just put in some sort of weird symbol after that, base/1. Now I've done a little bit of forethought here, and the width of that base is 13.5 inches. I have added, if you look the way I want it to be 13.5 inches on the inside, I've added 1.5 inches because that's 3/4 of an inch on this side, 3/4 of an inch on this side that I'm losing by those braces being there. So I have thought ahead as in my design there, and that's actually 15 inches across if I measure it. The depth is going to be 5.5. I did that by measuring up glue bottles. This is going to hold 10 glue bottles, okay? So my initial sketch, now that I am in my base, I'm going to sketch. I'm going to use a center rectangle so that I can use symmetry whenever I possibly can. So I am going to tap rectangle. I'm going to come over to my sketch palette. I'm going to hit center rectangle. I'm placing that at the origin. I'm dragging that out. I am typing 5.5 tab 15. To dimension that, that's my nominal dimension. All right, I'm going to finish that sketch, and I am going to extrude that upwards 0.72. I measured the plywood at 0.713 to 0.717. I'm figuring I can fill that 3 to 5/100ths with a glue line. So I am oversizing it, but we bought I have 3/4 inch plywood back there. Make no mistake, if I wanted to freak you out, I would make a parameter called thickness, arbitrarily name it 0.75, and do everything parametrically, meaning it would all be variable based. That would be a little overwhelming. The real difficulty of this is designing a good tool holder and then sending it to the machine. All right, the next thing I'm going to go ahead and add is going to be, I'm going to put this back plate. That black plate is 6.5 inches, and it is the same width. So I'm going to come over here. I do not just simply sketch. Instead, every new piece of wood is going in as a new component. So I'm going to come up to the top level. I'm going to click this circle. I'm not sure if I have to, but I don't want to find out the hard way that I don't have to. I'm going to right click and hit new component, and I'm going to name it back plate. I'm going to hit OK. Now I'm automatically working in back plate. This is grayed out. If it's bothering me where it is, I could actually do that. There's a little anchor on the base, and that means it's pinned, it won't move. When I add this, I could assemble it the hard way. I could pin it where I make it, or I could actually come up here, and rather than join, I can make everything a rigid group, which just means it sticks it together rigid in its place. All right, so anyways, back plate's going to fit against this back side here, so that's where I'm going to draw. I'm going to create a sketch on this back side. I'm going to do a 2-point rectangle. I'm going to start on that. I can snap to it because I clicked on that as my face. I'm going to come over here, which meaning it's snap to, and then drag straight up. It'll stay straight up, and I'm going to enter the term 6.5. Hit enter, finish sketch. I'm going to go back to my home isometric view. I'm going to tap this and that. Notice it saw that as 2 rectangles, and if you don't, then it'll kind of extrude funny. And I'm going to extrude that back 0.72. Again, that's how I got my thickness. Now, I'm going to add one more side and then one more trick and I'm done. All right, so that height from there is 3 inches. This front lip, but I'm going to add the sides and not make you do an extra piece right now. I'll add the front flip when you're not watching the video. You don't need to see that. All right. To do that, I'm going to sketch over here on the side. I got to look at this design real quick because I got a mental question. All right, that's, yep, wonderful. All right, I had to think there for a moment. So I'm going to right click, hit new component, and this is going to be side. Okay. All right, I'm going to sketch on this point right here. Now the problem is, you're going to see, I'm going to go a line up from right here. I'm going to go up 3 inches, straight up, 3. And then when I try to go a line at 30 degrees, it won't snap. I'm going to hit cancel. And the reason being is I recognize this. It doesn't see that to snap to it. In order to get it to see it to snap to it, I'm going to go create, project, and I'll click on any of this geometry I want to project, specifically that line, because that gives me that. And I'm also going to project this just in case it didn't. I don't think I need to project that one. But now I'm going to go ahead and place a line over here, snap it to there. I'm going to tab to the angular measurement, and I'm going to hit 30. And then I'm going to, I'm not going to snap to that. I'm going to go arbitrarily how far I'd like to go. And this doesn't matter. I'm going to click and then create a line and go straight over to that and hit, and then go down and over so that I've created a closed polygon. I'm going to hit finish sketch. I'm going to extrude this inwards, 0.73. Oh my gosh. I'm going to edit that extrusion and realize that that's got to be a negative 0.72 because I got loose with my dimensions. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to come up to this top level. I'm going to go to create, mirror. I'm going to change this to components. It'll default to bodies. I'm going to change it to components, and I'm going to mirror that component about that. All right. Now, I got to add a front lip. Okay. This is the concept of adding it as components. All right. We're going to get a little twisted up. If I want to go back and change something, I'm going to do that. Now, in fact, I want to go back and change something. What this does not have is the concept of rabbet joints to help me with alignment. What I want to do is I want to extend, if I look at my side, I'm going to click on my side so I can work on my side. What I'd like to do is I would like this to come an 1/8 inch as I look at it, an 1/8 inch to the right, and then I would like to leave an 1/8 inch rabbet joint there. I'm going to change the side. Please note that I am marked, I am highlighted there. That's the only thing I see. I'm going to check if I can use press pull. It makes it a little hard to select the object I want. I'm not sure that, I think that's getting me what I want. I don't think that's getting me what I want. I'm going to cancel. I'm going to turn off the vision on the back plate completely. I'm going to go press pull. I'm going to grab that face, and I would just type 1/8. Now, it's not good though, because what else do I have to do if I turn on the back plate? You see now I have interference. So now I've got to remove the little bit there, or specifically have the machine move that there. So now I'm going to work on my back plate. I'm going to go here. I'm going to sketch on this face. I want to just go ahead and project the geometry onto that face. So I'm going to project that line, that line, that line, that line, and that line onto it, hit OK. I'm going to turn off the vision on the side just to make my life a little easier, and then I would finish that sketch and extrude give me the whole thing. I did not complete I'm just going to do a rectangle over. I did not complete it somehow. I'm going to go from there to there, finish sketch. I should now be able to extrude that. Yeah. All right. And that'll be -1/8. I could then, while I'm in here, I'm going to go ahead and mirror that feature. Again, the lovely thing. So this is a feature that I want to mirror. That one right there. Select my mirror plane and show my origin. Mirror it about that and hit OK. Please note that this is a little bit of a pain. And then I want to turn that origin back off, because otherwise it'll continue to stay. I'm going to turn my side back on. I'm going to go up here. And now all of a sudden, when I go to lay this flat and I'm just looking at the back plate, turn off my base, turn off my side. When I lay this flat, oops. The machine will go down, it'll cut out the outside, and it'll cut those dados. Now I'm probably going to put a dado along the bottom here. If you thought ahead, you could do this as you go. I don't know that I can. I like very much the intermediate step of I lay it out, I look at this, and hey, what is that, a hole, or this carrying part is going to fit my 10 glue bottles. I double check. Then I check, hey, are these all components so they can I modify and then go to arrange. I'm going to take everything, boom, I'm going to choose an envelope and tell it to go on that one, and then, oops, I didn't make a copy, but you can see what it's going to do. It's going to lay everything flat, the machine's going to cut out my pieces, it will also mill in those rabbets. And now when I go to put it together, you're going to do a much better job of putting it together than if you were just trying to butt joint two flat surfaces with glue in between. Glue is slippery. You can add a little sand as grit to help it keep it from slipping, but the bottom line is it's a pain. It slips at the last second when you're trying to tack a brad nail in to hold it still. It always does. I'm just, this way you're actually pushing it and registering it in there. All right.